Hey everybody, Boris Schlossberg from BKTraderFx, our weekly commentary for the week of 12/8. I'm going to talk about two trades this week that kind of go with the idea of follow the flow that I talked about in my weekly commentary. First trade was dollar CAD. The news in CAD was very interesting beginning of the week. We had BOC lower rates for the first time in 18 months. Big surprise to the market. This is the chart action that happened right away after the BOC makes the announcement. Now, anybody who looks at this who's a novice trader is going to say, oh, all the news is in the price. I don't want to trade this trade. Huge mistake, because this was big, important news. It was a big, important surprise. And if you pull away from this chart, let me just show you how much more price action there was in this particular trade. Boom, 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 boom. You could have made close to 80 points in dollar CAD if you had joined this trade after the news without assuming any of the event risk. Let me just zoom in on this and show you how the trade should have been traded. Basically, once the BOC makes the announcement, you could have come in anywhere around here with a stop right around here. The reason why you want to put the stop over here is because if the price action retraces to the pre-news levels, that means the news itself is really unimportant to the market. But as long as it holds this level, that is a positive news towards dollar CAD. You want to get long dollars, short CAD into this information flow. And as the rest of the day flows, everybody else joins your trade, and you're able to cash out for 70 points later in the day. The other big story this week was in the pound. If you look at the pound, I'm just going to pull back. Pound was basically one-way downside action. But here is where trading the news had to have some very subtle changes. Notice that, yes, BOE did cut rates this week, and it did cut rates by 25 basis points, but the pound had gone down all the way before that. The market was anticipating this move so heavily that there was very little follow-through after the announcement, simply because you had already a 600-point drop beforehand. So it's very important to ask yourself not just, what is the news, but how much of it has really been factored in. When you have so much of a price drop as you did in the pound, the probability was there wasn't going to be much more future downside action in the pound from that point on. However, there was a very good trade in the pound as we went on, and that was in the euro pound, because right after the BOE, we had very, very hawkish ECB announcement. And let me just zoom in on here. Basically, here's the interesting story in this particular pair. Sorry, this is the ECB announcement. At around 9 o'clock, Jean-Claude Trichet comes out, and he becomes extraordinarily hawkish on the euros. He basically saying to the market that no, we're not necessarily going to stand down like everybody else. We may be willing to raise rates if we see inflationary pressures. This is a big surprise to the market, and everybody starts buying euros. We already know the pound news is negative, so there's very little reason for the pound to rally for the rest of the day, but the euro may have a chance. If you go long way after Trichet starts speaking, let's say at around 9 o'clock, already a half hour into his conversation when the news is known, if you go long at 7,200, you had a very easy, very smooth trade all the way to 7,230. Remember, euro-pound pips are twice the size of regular pips. That's almost like a 60-point trade within an hour of the flow. Again, joining the information, going with the flow, making your money the easy way. That's the way to trade in the FX market. This is Boris Schlossberg from BKTraderFx. We have a tremendous amount of new stuff next week, trading live with me, new event risk information from Kathy. I hope you guys will join us. Over and out.